Hey y'all, how y'all doing? My name is Nick Hoffman. I'm the host of Nick's Wild Ride on Outdoor Channel, and I am proud to be here with the one and only, the man of the hour, Mario Calpo. How are you, buddy?
Hey Nick, nice to see you, man.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm in love with your new show. I'm so excited about it. We have a lot in common. I have a show that is all about hunting and sustainable hunting and travel and adventure and food. And so when I saw your show, I was like, man, I love this guy. I need to know this guy. This is the first time we've met, and I got to tell you, I'm a fan. I love it. Great job.
I could say exactly the same about you, and I know we've both got a lot of mutual friends that are in this industry and love the outdoor lifestyle. And everyone I've spoken to has said you've got to meet Nick from Nick's Wild Ride. You guys are going to get on like a house on fire. So when I heard that you were interviewing me and we're doing the SeriesFest, which by the way I think is an amazing event, I was really excited. So yeah.
Yeah, it's such a cool event, and it's so cool that you're showing all these folks your new show, which airs September 20th. It's coming up really soon on Outdoor Channel. How excited are you about having this big thing on Outdoor Channel?
Oh man, I've got to tell you, this is, I mean, I've been working on this for 5 years, but also, well beyond that, this is my whole life's legacy in one show. Obviously my background as a restaurateur and an extreme food guy is, sort of mixing in with my outdoor passion. These are, skill sets that I've sort of gathered through a lifetime. So for it all to become, wrapped up into a TV show, it means a lot to me. And yeah, it's been a blast, man. I've been having so much fun filming it. We're about to start our second season. So yeah, I'm excited. I hope everyone loves it. It's truly a labor of love of mine. And, this is who I am and what I'm about. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I hope everyone else can.
Yeah, I think people will enjoy it because it's pretty easy to watch this and get caught up in your passion. It's very obvious that you're authentic, and that's a huge part, in my opinion, of I come from the music world as well. It's like authenticity is key. People can tell fake from a mile away, and you're the opposite of that. It's very obvious that as a host, you're very authentic. And as it's obvious that your passion for hunting and for food come through. That comes really comes through really clearly, right? So I want to ask you about those passions. I mean, you mentioned in your episode about having that primal urge to hunt, that's in all of us. What is it about hunting, and that and maybe even you can parlay it into cooking? I mean, what is it about that what's it mean to you? I mean, it's one thing to have that, for all of us to have that primal urge, but what's it mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's not just about me, right? We are genetically made up of our DNA, which has been, molded by our experiences over 250,000 years. So no one can deny that's what we're here to do. We're here to breed, eat, and forage and hunt, and that's what we are as humans, just like animals are. So when I talk about that, us having a primal urge, it's like when you're hungry and you see food you want to eat, or fire makes you warm, you are drawn to it. Like all these natural things that we encounter on a hunting trip are ingrained in us. This is part of our genetics. So
Yeah.
I truly believe, whether you're a city person or a country person or whatever, those elements are embedded in our DNA. And there's something about it. When you experience it, you can't put it in words. You just feel so at home. Even on the smallest level, like breathing fresh air on top of a mountain, you just feel good in that space. So,
Yeah.
every adventure I go on, I get that. And I just think, it's something that we're born to do. And the reality is, if our ancestors weren't good hunters or foragers or gatherers, we wouldn't be here. We're here because our forefathers had survived and, done the right job. So that's my whole belief system
Yeah.
on it.
I've always heard it said that some people are wired to be hunters and some people are wired to be gatherers, and there's and but it's true, you probably one or the other. And some people, me, I didn't grow up in a hunting family, but I always felt compelled to be in the outdoors. And so I think it's in you. I agree with you. And talk about stuff that's in your DNA, you grew up in a chef family, right? So your dad was a pretty renowned chef, if I'm correct.
My grandpa, yeah. So I grew up with my grandparents quite young, and he was a world famous chef. He cooked for the Queen and
Oh
um,
wow.
JFK. He cooked for Neil Armstrong and Elvis Presley. So this is back in the '60s. So he was really world famous at the time, and he, as a little kid, I was so intrigued by just watching him, with all these raw ingredients, and then he would do his thing, and then bang, there was this amazing, meal in front of me. And I just thought that was amazing. For me, it was like, wow, this is creation, this is creativity, it's like art,
Yeah.
and, it's also a really good way to bring people together, like, it's a social thing. It's, and I think if you introduce gathering your own stuff, like hunting it, it's an extra element of giving. You know what I mean? It's that next level where I actually tried and I went through a lot to get this onto not just cooking it, but I gathered it. So to me, that's the ultimate way of sharing and your experience with people you love and care about. So, it really is a space that I don't think I'll ever want to be, or want to be a part of for the rest of my life. And you're right, it's been ingrained in me since a really young age. And look, I've got to say, man, as long as I can walk, or even if I can't walk, like as an old man, I'll be doing this.
Yeah. Well, and you combine both of your loves in this show, and I think that's really special. And they go hand in hand. It's not like you're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. When we hunt, people don't realize that the hunting it's not about the killing. It's about the whole experience. And for me, one of the best experiences is eating the stuff you hunt and then sharing it with your friends. And so you've always hunted and you've always cooked, so we've got that, but you haven't always filmed that stuff. I mean, and I bet there had to have been some surprises or some challenges when you started filming these things, right? I mean, I know from experience that filming a hunt is very different than actually just going off and hunting on your own. I'm sure the people here, all being filmmakers, would love to hear about some of those challenges that you maybe were unexpected in filming this. Did you have anything that came up that made it more difficult than you would expect?
Definitely. It's a whole new world, isn't it? Like, hunting is hard anyway, right? Adding elements of camera crews and, it just added a whole nother sort of world into it. And I mean, yeah, it's, you've now got a whole different set of challenges, which you would know really well. Especially, I found the most challenging parts of filming were when I was using my bow. Obviously, it's a lot more intense. You're getting a lot closer to the animal, and you can get found out really quickly. You've got to deal with a cameraman behind you who sometimes makes the mistakes before you do.
Yeah.
And, that can be frustrating. But
It's hard to be camouflaged with another dude standing behind you with a big shiny lens. Yeah, it looks like a giant eye.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
And he's just trying to get the shot, like he's doing his job, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes, I mean, me and my guys, it took us a while, but I kind of feel like we're more in sync. And it does help with a guy that understands hunting and, all the processes behind it, more so than guys that don't. But it definitely is very challenging. It's wildlife too. We're not like on a set where we can just go, oh, let's take two, take three, take four. Like if that thing runs away, you're like, it could be another 5 days before you even get to that opportunity again. So
Yeah.
it's super challenging, but I love it, man. I really.
What about sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just saying I really love it. And, the reward at the end of the day is sharing that experience with people that may not be hunters. So they get to see what we go through. And to me, that's probably the most important thing about Man Eats Wild. I'm really about connecting people with where their food comes from. So if we can show that journey via film, then I think we're going to get through a lot of people, and they can really start appreciating a lot about harvesting food.
That's awesome. I mean, and I'm sure you'd filmed some cooking segments before, but even filming cooking, I know from doing my thing, that's not a one shot thing. That's like you have to make the same dish 6 times or 5 times, right? And even that alone, it all edits together really nicely if you do it right. But that's a pain in the ass filming cooking, isn't it?
It can be. Some dishes are harder than others. You know, the thing with cooking is it's sometimes a juggling game, right? You might have a pan going with something sauteing, then you've got something else on the side that's boiling, then you've got something else in the oven. So it really is sometimes a bit of a game of, juggling certain elements. So when you have a cameraman goes, right, I need 2 minutes to do a close up on the ingredients, you could have burnt the crap out of that thing on
Right.
the pan while you're doing this. So that is also another challenge. But, luckily with film, we can stop and start and, but we've been pretty good. I've got to say, I haven't had too many mess ups or bad incidents with the cooking side. I can't say the same about the hunting. We've definitely
Yeah.
had some.
Well, one thing about the hunting side of things too that a lot of people don't realize, and I would assume you're in the same boat, is that you can't go up the mountain with a crew. Like you usually have 1 or 2 people max, because any more than that, it's too many footsteps, it's too much scent, it's too much everything for the hunting side. So your camera people, your crew have to be kind of jacks of all trades. They become lighting guy, audio guy, everything all at once, right? And that can be really a challenge to find someone that is that comprehensive. It's not, they're not just a lighting guy, they're not just a sound guy, they're not just a camera guy, they're all of it in one big cookie, right?
100%. I've had a few. Yeah, I mean, if you watch our other episodes, I do some crazy stuff too. That's not exactly, I wouldn't say safe, but we put ourselves in wild predicaments. And I've definitely lost a few camera guys along the way that have said, "Nah, man, I'm not
I'm
keen
not
on
doing that.
jumping in
Yeah.
with sharks."
That's
but
great.
but yeah, for the most part, they've been pretty good. But you're 100% right. You've got to be light, and you've got to, one. I normally run with 1, maybe 2 cameramen, but that apart from that, you're right. It's impossible to have the whole crew. It just doesn't work.
I'm interested in you're obviously a bit of a renaissance man and a very eclectic guy. I'm interested, I mean, who are your influences on both sides, both things? Who do you look up to?
As far as the hunting world or cooking,
Both, either one, yeah.
yeah, I just, you know what? For me, it's about people doing things that different and unique and outside of the box. And I'm a big advocate for people that work hard and are on that next level. So I love my training too. So I'm obsessed with the guys that have put in a lot of effort as far as being mountain men. Obviously, there's the greats of the hunting world like Jim Shockey, who have just been around for so long and have ticked so many boxes. So he's obviously a legend. As far as that mountain man, crazy, fit dude, Cameron Haynes is someone I've been following for a long time. I think he's an absolute machine of a hunter. And then, I mean, chefs, man, I could go on forever. I like the guys there's a guy named Massaman, who's a guy from Argentina that I follow. Yeah, there's heaps of guys, man. I'm just constantly scrolling Instagram and the internet for new people, like younger guys that are up and coming. So yeah, I mean, there's some guys on the Outdoor Channel now that are doing really well. I know that Mike Robinson, he's got a good show coming out. Steve Ranella, we're all in the same boat, really. We're all
Yeah,
doing something, and we're just showing our passion for what we believe in.
I love that. Well, I think you talked about the influence of the digital side of things. You're talking about how you're being inspired by people on Instagram nowadays, things like that, which is obviously an ever shifting, ever changing world. And you're blending genres with your show, right? So you've got the cooking side, and it's a hardcore like kitchen style cooking thing too, right? You've got all that, and then you've got the hunting side. Who do you think your core audience is for this show?
Well, that's a great question. I'm trying to, I mean, I really think Man Eats Wild is bigger than just the hunting audience. It is for me, for sure, because, it's very much food focused, and it's about, like I was saying, educating and reconnecting people with where their food comes from. I believe that in today's society, we're really disconnected. A lot of people don't understand where their food comes from because they don't need to. So I think, you know, Yeah, sure. Outdoor advocates will love my show, but I also think people that love cooking will love my show. And I'd like to think that, you know, mums and dads and, you know, all sorts of different people can watch the show. You don't have to necessarily be a hunter or a fisherman or a crazy cooking, you know, fanatic. I think a general, you know, the general population could appreciate and watch Manly Swallow and go, wow, look, here's a guy that goes out into the wild and harvests his food.
Got it. Yeah, I love that, and I strive for the same thing in my show. You know, I try to find a way to appeal to people that might not hunt, and that's hard. That's a hard thing to straddle when you know that you're going to get the hunter and you're going to get the cooking people, but you're trying to somehow connect with the people in the middle too, right?
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to do, and I feel like you've done a really good job here with it. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I have
By the
5
way,
quick questions. Go
I
ahead.
was just going to say, man, you do some seriously fun things on your show. I've seen a couple of your episodes. I need to incorporate some of that fun stuff, man, because, well, get me on your show because I'm missing out on this.
Likewise, we'll have to each be a guest on each other's things. I'm in. I need to get back to New Zealand. I'm dying to get back there. So
You're welcome,
you're
man.
living so do you live in New Zealand now? You're from Australia, you live in New Zealand.
I've got
Right?
a hunting and fishing lodge there. So I was a professional hunting and fishing guide for about 8 years after I gave up the restaurant scene. And I had a lot of restaurants before and then got into the hunting and fishing space. So yeah, I'm out of New Zealand now. I am moving to the United States. So look out, everyone. I'm coming over. I love it here. You know, I really feel comfortable. Australians and Americans get on famously. So that's my plan, man. So maybe you can show me around
I
and show
love
me
it.
some time.
Hey, I'm not scared of you. Bring it to Nashville. Come on, let's go.
Let's do
I've
it.
got 5 quick questions for you, and then we're gonna wrap things up. Just some rapid fire questions. If you could live anywhere in the world, you know, just forget job, forget work, everything. If you could just live anywhere, where would it be?
Uh, that's a good question. Can I say 2 places?
Sure.
I'm going to say Montana, and the second one I'm going to say Botswana in Africa.
Pretty special place. Yeah,
Extremely
that's
special.
good. What's your biggest fear?
Getting eaten by a shark because it's
That's
almost
very
happened to me
specific.
twice.
That's very specific.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. Would you rather ride a bike, a horse, or drive a car?
horse for sure.
Yeah, you like horseback? Do you do much horseback hunting, that
I
kind
just
of thing?
I've never done horseback hunting, but I've done a lot of horseback trail rides, and horses are one of my favorite animals, man, by
Yeah,
far.
me
They're
too.
just an absolute beautiful creature.
Yeah, me too. If you're gonna sing karaoke, so you're drunk and and you've been talked into going up and singing karaoke. What song are you gonna sing? You have to pick one. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
I'm like, you're talking to someone that has no idea about music.
Yeah. Hey,
uh,
enough beers. You're an Australian. I'm sure we could get you drunk enough for that.
Highway to Hell, AC/DC.
I love it. All right, last question. If you could share a meal with any person, living or dead, you don't have to cook for them. You can just sit down and eat with them, whatever you want to eat. Who would you pick?
Oh man, that's a difficult one. Living or dead?
Yeah, any person at all.
Do you know who I would share a meal with? Sir David Attenborough.
Ah, yeah, that would
That's
be really cool.
because that guy's seen a lot of cool stuff around the world, and I'd love to pick his brains about, you know, the transition in the environment and all the rest of it.
Yeah, and as a filmmaker, I mean the impact that he's made on filmmaking in general, but especially the outdoor stuff is unbelievable.
You know how
Yeah,
you
that's
asked me before about my idols? Well, he's definitely one of them.
yeah, mine too. That's a great pick. If I can join you or just pour your wine for you on that dinner, I'd appreciate it.
I'll get you an
Well,
invite if I get one.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for joining us here. Thanks for being here at SeriesFest. Thank you to SeriesFest, and thank you to Xfinity for their support of this cool event and for showing off this brand new show. I'm so excited for you, man. Congratulations. I want to be part of season 2. I'm just saying, you know, somehow get me involved. And yeah, September 20th on Outdoor Channel. your brand new show comes out. So congratulations, and thank you all for being here. Thanks, Series Fest. Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate your time, Nick.
Likewise.
See you.